As first off, just thoughts on the opening round matchup.
This is a great, does this work? This is a great opportunity for the state of New Mexico being able to come back for another opportunity to be able to do this TBT thing again. It was an unfortunate situation last year, but now we have another chance. And there's been a lot of amazing work put into this by Brandon Mason being able to come together and get the opportunity to be able to have this event in the pit. It's a great venue, which is a great opportunity for the local people to come out and support, and it's ex-UNM Lobo players. And it's a great atmosphere being in here, but they better be ready for that altitude too at the same time coming into this market. And I just want to thank the UNM front office and all of them for supporting this opportunity. And I'm really looking forward to being the head coach again and being able to come back and be a part of this game from an alumni perspective is very amazing. And this is just a great atmosphere to be able to come into. And then it's going to help the economy as far as New Mexico is concerned, which is one of the big problems that we have here right now.
J.R., when you think about how your game ended last year in this tournament, has this been just on your mind the whole time leading up to this? And what about the matchup against NMSU excites you?
Well, first off, I bleed cherry and silver, so I'm happy to go out there in the pit and, represent the state of New Mexico again, especially versus the Aggies. I think this is good basketball. This is the matchup that everybody wants to see out here, and if everybody knows me, the way that the game ended last year, it left a bad taste in my mouth. And everywhere I've been since that, they ask me what happened in this game. And no matter where I've been on the golf course or at a restaurant or with my family. So I'm definitely very fired up to go out there and play, especially being retired. I want to show people I still got it. I know I can still play personally. I think I showed that last year. So I'm going to be in great shape. I'm going to be ready to play. We're going to go out there and, be ready to lead the troops. And then shout out to Ryan Berryman and, Brandon Mason for doing such a great job behind the scenes and making this happen, man. We're all very excited to go out there and play. And somebody that's myself, 37 years old, I know my days are numbered to play in the pit. So I'm going to leave it all out there on the floor as always.
Yeah, just another year. I mean, now that you guys have a little bit of experience in this tournament and just the group coming back, how confident are you feeling coming into this year? You know what I'm saying?
Well, confidence comes from your work ethic and your preparation. So I'm always going to be confident. But I think as a team, especially Kenny and us being our first year in the TBT, we didn't take a loss last year. I looked at it as a learning experience. We're young, and so this year we're going to come back with more experience and a lot more fire and passion. And I think that everybody has a better feel of where we need to be as a team, and we're preparing for that now. So I think we'll be more than ready to go out there and perform.
For J.R. and for Kenny, I remember watching the game last year and looking on social media, people were saying, like, man, I wish this game was in Albuquerque. I wish a regional would come to Albuquerque. So what do you both have to say to people that wanted it here and will now get it?
Like I said earlier, New Mexico is a great state when it comes to sports, and it's one of those opportunities to where this state needs this. And basketball is huge, and it needs to get back to where it used to be. When the basketball program was very active and alive and a lot of different things going on from that perspective. And this is a very unique opportunity, being able to come and bring TBT here, which is huge because we want them to be able to come back and we want to put on a show. I'm pretty sure playing against the Aggies is going to bring a lot of people from all over the state, which is good, right? And nothing against the Aggies or anything like that, but this is, like J.R. said, this is red and cherry, right? This is what we bleed, and this is what we know, and this is what I love. And being able to come back and be a part of this is great.
Awesome. J.R., anything you want to say to the fans that are now getting this chance to see you guys play here?
I think we're all fortunate to have this unique opportunity to see the Lobos versus the Aggies, especially with alumni players and current pro athletes and players that are very hungry to still fight and prove that they can play this game at a high level. So I expect us to claw each other's face out, which I'm all ready for. But again, like I said, like Kenny said earlier, it's a great opportunity for New Mexico basketball, and this is a basketball state. Everybody knows that. So I think you guys are going to get a good show, and we're going to go out there and try to put on a great show and perform better than last year.
If you can't tell, he ready to grind.
I'm ready. We're ready.
And at the same time, I'm about to say this, But we're gonna win the first game anyway, so it don't matter.
I'm gonna take a different approach. I'm gonna say that
Winning this first game.
I don't like to guarantee victory, but one thing that I'll guarantee, I know I'm gonna leave it all out there on the floor, and I think that's the energy that's gonna be with the rest of my teammates from Team Enchantment. We're taking this very seriously, and it's very fortunate that we get to do that versus the Aggies because there's nobody I'd rather play.
And just to let you know, I said that for marketing and social media, FYI.
Sound bites.
So a lot of these players obviously are familiar to Lobo fans from the past 10 years or so, but there's not a whole lot that played when you were still playing. There are a couple. Jason Smith on CSU, saw a couple older guys. I don't know if any of the Boise State guys, but do you know anybody playing?
Yeah, I know most of the guys that are playing, and even though I'm coaching now, I'm still in the loop of most of the guys that play pro. We keep up with them during social media, and I'll say before I retired, I was still handing these guys buckets, so I don't expect anything less to come from this situation.
On that note, everyone's going to be excited about Lobos versus Aggies. And I know you guys don't want to look ahead the first game, but for fans that aren't familiar with who these guys are on the other teams, can you guys give some insight on just the whole regional, all the games that fans can expect to see and kind of basketball they can see?
Well, I can kind of speak on this. When it comes to LaFonso coaching that team, who we could possibly play, I played against him in the NBA when he played under Popovich. So he's a guy he knows the game. And he's going to come out and try and win, obviously. But there's a lot of experience there when it comes to coaching. So I think there's a lot of opportunity and a lot of growth if we do make it to the second round.
Yeah, Kenny, I'm just wondering from your perspective, J.R. was talking about, this is another year, more experiences, even for you from the perspective of coaching. Like, do you think you're going to know more what you guys should be working on and stuff like that?
I mean, it comes down to how we're going to approach this, because I think our approach last year could have been totally different. Even though we were up by 20-some points at halftime, we still had to come out and play in the second half, which we did not do. People probably don't know this about me, but in Sacramento, I coached at American River Junior College for like 2 or 3 years. I was an assistant coach. So I've been kind of going back and forth on this coaching situation, but it is another opportunity for me to grow and learn with these guys. And the nice thing about me, I'm going to be open to even like listening to guys like J.R. from the perspective, because they do have a different approach that I might not see. And we have a great coaching staff like Chad Bell, who's coaching with the Clippers right now. And we got Jay Hill, and we got some other guys that's going to bring in a whole different element. So it's going to be a team effort. It's not going to be one of those things to where I'm going to be the head coach and try and take over, because there's so much knowledge that I can take in, and we got to get to the next round.
So you guys obviously both have played when the pit was different than what it has been the past several years. And everybody kept talking about how great the pit would be for a regional. Sales aren't blowing anybody out of the water like these other regionals. What do fans need to do to prove that this pit is what everybody said it was when they said they wanted a regional?
For me, and like I've explained to my kids and my team and a lot of the young athletes that I train out here, it's like if you look at all the players on the roster, you're going to get a lot of ex-NBA players, a lot of guys that have played high-level Europe and Latin America. It's going to be a high level of basketball. So for me, this is probably the highest level of basketball that's going to be played this year in the pit, because you have so much pro experience, a lot of older players, and then you have guys like Kenny and, the teams, Mr. Ellis, that guys that have NBA experience and have coaching experience. So it's going to be high-level coaches. It's going to be high-level players, and I expect this to be the highest level of basketball played in the pit this year in this region. So if I was a fan, I would want to come out and see these players, even if they aren't New Mexico State fans or Lobo fans. You're still going to be able to see some players that have made millions of dollars playing basketball and play basketball at a high level, and people that have high basketball IQs. So this is going to be a great event for the pit. So if I was a basketball fan, and like I know we have out here, there's no way I would miss this. I'm just blessed that I get to play in it.
Anything else for Kenny or JR?
For those that don't know, for those that are just locked into Lobos or maybe Aggies, I know he's from Albuquerque, but can you guys tell us something about what Scott Bamforth is going to be bringing to this team?
You want to go?
Oh yeah, Scott Bamford's still playing at a high level over
Yeah.
there in France right now. He's a shooter, and I think he's a great addition to the team. We actually wanted him last year, but I think he was unfortunate. He had some other things that he had to do, but Scotty's going to come in and do what he does and get buckets. And like I said, he's been shooting the ball, playing at a high level in Europe and Italy. Actually, when I was in Italy, he was out there, so I've got a chance to see him play up close and personal. I think that the element of shooting that he's going to add to our team, along with Anthony Mathis, that means I'm not going to have to shoot any threes. I just got to drive to the basket and play defense.
Yes,
Defense.
we're on track.
So let me do one more. Obviously, you're still in the gym, JR, but like 37.
You trying to say I'm not in the gym?
You're in the gym too. I'm in the
I
gym.
just do it
but-
differently. I just look at the camera.
Look, I think Jason Smith might be the second oldest at 36. I think you're going to be the oldest in this whole region.
He was oldest last year.
I think you were the oldest last year.
I mean, age is really a state of mind, and if anybody knows me, they know I work out probably excessively. So I don't, I'm going to accept whatever role that they want me to have on this team. But if I need to score, they need me to D up or rebound, I think I'm more than capable of doing that, because I feel, even though I've been coaching for 2 years, I think it's obviously that I can still play pro basketball. I'm choosing to start a different career. Some people's careers end because of their bodies. Mine ended because I wanted to start my second career in coaching, which I'm very serious about.
So, if this, I wanted to ask about the roster. The people might not know the other players on these other teams, but these are legends. These are fan favorites. This is such a great roster of former Lobos. Tell the fans what they're going to miss if they don't come out and see all these guys. These guys won't be playing basketball for much longer, and you've got some of the greats all time in Lobo history. They're playing together.
Yeah, we do, and like I said, I think that they did a better job of putting a team together this year. It seems like we're going to gel more and have a fit, but, I mean, just, even no knock to Jamal Fenton, who's not playing. Jamal's in incredible shape. We play versus each other all the time and give each other fits, and then you got Joe Falstinger, who's still playing at a high level, as well as Drew Gordon. He's making millions of dollars overseas still, and then with Elijah Brown. Elijah's he's a Lobo great. He came out here, averaged 18 points a game as a Lobo. And then we'll have Darius Gary, who's a big winner, with Anthony Mathis coming back, the addition of Scott Bamforth, and then, Phil McDonald. People don't realize Phil McDonald had 30 last year in the game that we played. He's still in great shape, and he's giving people fits around Albuquerque, as well as Darrington. The last year, he was coming off an injury. This year, he's coming off of playing in the season. So I think our whole lineup is stronger, and then Ramon's still in great shape. And that guy, he's a high IQ player, doesn't need the ball. He's going to move around and chase it. You're going to have to chase him around, and he's going to shoot his threes. And then we got a young guy, Cleveland Pancake Thomas, who's still playing professional ball. So I think this roster this year is, we thought about it a little bit more, and hopefully we'll have a better fit. But like you said, you come out and see some of your favorite Lobos from whatever time period it was. We're going to come out here and band together and try to do our best. And I think it's a great opportunity to see us all in the same place at the same time, because my kids don't know who I am, but they know who Anthony Mathis is, and it's crazy. So for Lobo fans of all ages, I think this is a good opportunity for everybody to come out, see your favorite Lobos play versus the team that we want to beat the most.
Are you guys planning, or this might be a GM question, but still possibility of adding one or two more pieces to the roster, or do you think this is about it?
I think we're still open to opportunities, but I'm pretty sure this is our lineup right now, especially with it being a few weeks away. If there's a couple additions that we have to make, then we just have to make them and go from there.
And then what's the plan for when you guys are going to start actual practices together and stuff like that?
So practices we're looking at probably starting around the 14th, 15th, like 3 or 4 days before, get the guys in and get them settled in and figure it out. And we're really looking at, the way I'm seeing it is that we're looking at coming out and getting up and down. And it's not going to be one of those controlled situations. If guys are going to know what they can and can't do to where it's going to benefit the team, and this is where I said guys are going to have to buy in to what their role is and then go from there.